Hi, thank you so much for clicking on this channel. My name is Jade Marie, and this is my YouTube channel, Jade's Gems. And basically, the reason why I created my channel was that I wanted to drop nuggets and gems of wisdom, positivity, love, light, sometimes a little mystery, just to really just possibly inspire, or not even just inspire, but I just wanted to share with people what was working for me in my own life, and also what I've researched and have seen to be statistically effective. So thank you so much for being on my channel today. Please give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. If you do mind, it's totally okay. And at least try to like, share, and of course subscribe, particularly if this video hits any poignant points or if anything truly resonates with you. I would appreciate that. As you can see in the topic, today we are talking about manifesting your desires. I'm so excited about this topic because recently, over the last year, I have just maybe over the last year and a half, I've begun to really manifest things in a more positive and powerful way. Some of them have not been perfect, but I have definitely manifested some things that I am very, very proud of. And so one thing I wanted to do before I really get into the 10 steps that I've written down in terms of manifesting, and I'm gonna do my best to keep this video short. I think my first video was like 20-30 minutes long. I'm gonna do my best to kind of keep this a little bit shorter. But the first thing I wanted to do was, I have this lovely singing bowl that I love, and I just wanted to take the opportunity just to kind of cleanse the energy just a little bit, and just really help us to clear our minds. So I'm going to use the singing bowl just for less than a minute, but when you hear the sounds, just allow your spirit to just feel that energy and just try to lean into it. And then after that, we're going to get into the 10 steps. So let's do it. I love to take a couple of deep breaths in terms of any time before I do the singing bowl. I always feel like just some deep cleansing breaths always relax me and get me into that headspace. So I'm already feeling relaxed. So let's do it. I love that. I just love it. I actually manifested the singing bowl. Okay. So anyway, let's get into our lesson. One other thing that I wanted to do is I bought these super positive cards, and it's a 52 card deck, and the deck is called The Universe Has Your Back, and it's by Gabrielle Bernstein. And one thing I'm going to also do, since we're talking about manifesting and positivity, I am going to shuffle these cards and I'm going to read you whatever comes out. So let's also do that. Shuffle like that, push them in, and then I'm gonna do a little shuffle like this. I'm going to cut the deck. We're gonna look at the card. This card is so beautiful. I love the message. If you can see this imagery right here, this card is absolutely beautiful. It says, "The presence of love always casts out fear." This is so beautiful. The presence of love always casts out fear. And I think if you're feeling fearful, maybe you're trying to manifest something and you're feeling fearful that you're not going to get it, it really ties perfectly into what we're about to talk about. But just reflecting love to others, reflecting love to yourself, reflecting love and appreciation for who you are, for the earth, for the people around you, for the things that you currently have, and things of that nature. When you focus on love, you don't have the opportunity to really operate in fear. I am also going to look under the deck and I'm going to see what this card says since that one was so good. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. Isn't that beautiful? This is under the deck. Okay. And again, it says the moment I realign with love, and we all get out of alignment from times, and that's totally okay. It's life. But the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. So two cards talking about love. One is talking about how the presence of love can cast out fear. The other is talking about when you realign yourself with love, you'll get that clear direction. And I believe both of those cards coincide so beautifully together, because when you realign with love and you have that direction, that clear direction that's presented to you, you won't be fearful because you're more confident of the steps you've been taking. I've gotten a little tanny tan. I love it. So anyway, again, thank you for tuning in to my channel. Let's get into it. What I wanted to do was, again, my name is Jade Marie. My channel is called Jade's Gems, and I wanted to drop 10 quick gems on you all that really talk about how to manifest the desires that you want and what you really feel like you're being called to. So let's get into it. Number one, the first thing you have to do when you're trying to manifest your desires, and this may sound simple for some, but I know sometimes we don't do this. We need to be clear on what it is that we desire. You have to be very clear on what it is that you desire. You can't just say, I want a new job. You can't say, okay, I'm sick of the people that I work with. I want a new job. It doesn't work like that. Maybe it does a little bit, but not exactly. When you're saying you want a new job, what does that new job look like? What does the leadership look like within that company? What does that career path look like for you? What type of people do you want to work with? What do you want your working environment to look like? What type of salary do you want to have? How many days off do you want to have? And even for my entrepreneurs, when you're saying, okay, I just want to work for myself. Okay, what does that look like? Have you really created the vision? Excuse me, I'm gonna take a little sip of tea. But have you really taken time, and excuse me, to really look at what your vision for your business looks like? Or maybe you want to write a book, but you haven't even outlined what your chapters look like and things of that nature. Excuse me again. So the first thing, let's take time to really get clear about our vision, what it is that we want, what it is that we desire. And it's not enough to just say you desire something. You really have to begin to imagine. And you don't have to have every single little detail checked, but there is some groundwork and some framework that you have to really think about in terms of that desire. You have to give your desires a framework. Now, the curtains and the little metal fixings and just the hardware, things of that nature, that will come, but the framework, you have to start there. And so that's number one. Let's be clear about what it is that we want. It's not just, I want a husband. What type of husband do you want? Because you can have a husband that's argumentative, that doesn't provide, that can't keep a job, that is abusive, Or you can have a husband that's loving, he's nurturing, he's masculine, he's a wonderful provider, he likes to spend time with family, he has a great relationship with his family, his parents, and things of that nature. So you have to be a little bit more intentional about really thinking about your desires. So that's step one. Be intentional, be really clear. Again, you don't have to overthink it, but you do have to put some thought into it, okay? Step two, once you are clear, excuse me again, once you are clear about your desire, you really have to, you don't have to necessarily take all the steps towards your desire, but one thing you do have to do is you can't take steps outside of what it is that you desire. And so I'll give you an example. And this is super easy, no brainer. If you want to grow your hair longer, then you can't not properly take care of your hair. Okay, you may need to invest in better hair care products. You may need to be more diligent about washing and shampooing your hair and then doing a deep conditioning every 2 weeks. You may need to get you some hair vitamins. You may need to increase your water intake. You may need to they have all types of things. Do steaming on your hair. You may need to go to a doctor just to see, okay, right now my hair is not growing at the rate I feel like it should be. What is it that I can do? So if you want to grow your hair longer, and this is just an example that I just thought of, but if you wanted to grow your hair longer and you see what you're currently doing is not working for you, then what you have to do is you have to take steps that align with that. But again, the one thing that you can't do is to take steps that don't align towards that. So what do I mean by that? You can't go 2 and 3 weeks without washing your hair. Maybe you have a beautiful weave, or maybe you have maybe you just like to wear your hair braided or pulled in a ponytail, and you're like, you know what, I just keep my hair pulled to the back because it's not the length that I want it. Well, you have to begin to play with your hair. You have to begin to cultivate your scalp. You have to get it ready for that growth. And so if you're still doing the same things that don't align with your desire, you'll probably continue to get the same results, which is not what you desire, right? So that's one big thing. You do need to take steps towards it, but sometimes I think people forget, stop taking steps in the opposite direction, okay? You want to lose weight, but you may not eat a lot, but you eat late at night. So just things like that, just simple things, okay? I think that's good. You want to be a better mom, but every time your kids come home from school, you're like, I'm gonna turn this TV on, I'm going in my room, I'm gonna make them a real quick dinner, or I order some pizza. And trust me, it's totally okay to order out, do whatever you need to do. But if you're saying internally, I want to be a better mom, then that involves spending time with your children. And so you can't continue to do things the way you have been. So I think those are two or three great examples. So let's move on. Step number 3. One thing that you can do to help you manifest your desires, and I'm a very big believer in this, is I believe in meditation. And so meditation is truly the act of simply quieting your mind. Sometimes I think we confuse meditation and we say, okay, let me think about what it is that I want. Let me just focus. Let me think about this house. This is the house that I want. I'm just going to put this house in my mind, and that's what I'm going to do when I meditate. That's not necessarily meditation, because sometimes within imagining what we want internally, we feel that angst about not having it, or maybe we feel that fear that the first card we read referred to. And so just imagining what you want sometimes is not good enough. Sometimes it's just about quieting your mind. And this is something that definitely takes time, practice, intentionality. But when you just begin to quiet your mind and just sit with your thoughts, and maybe it's raining and you just listen to the rain. Maybe you play very soft music and you just listen to that. You stop the train of thoughts that's constantly going in your head about last week, last year, what's for dinner, my weight, what's not working well, and things of that nature. Or your best friend, just she had a bad experience with her boyfriend, and just so many different things. Even particularly like social media. I love social media, don't get me wrong, but one thing I do think is that social media has the potential to overstimulate our minds, and we don't realize that even once we are done scrolling on our screens, some of those images, some of those posts are still rolling over in our minds. And so then you have to really learn how to just take some deep breaths. Learn how to quiet yourself. Learn how to sit with no thought. That way, you're not necessarily thinking about something positive, but one thing you're not doing is you're not thinking about something negative. You're not thinking about something that will trigger fear or anxiety. You're not thinking about what's depressing you. You're just quieting your mind, quieting your spirit, sitting with yourself. That is so important. And so one other thing is that when you really get into the practice, and I mean, meditation takes time. Particularly when I first started doing it, it was very hard for me to quiet my mind. I was used to my brain going all day until I went to sleep. And so one thing that I had to do was I had to build up my time. So I would say, okay, I'm going to do, 1 minute, or I'll do 30 seconds. Literally, sometimes just 30 seconds of not thinking about anything can be extremely difficult. And so you take it and you build it up in increments. And even if you're sitting with yourself and you feel your mind drift off into something, that's okay. Don't get up. Just settle your mind back down. Take some more deep breaths. Listen to the air conditioner. Listen to that white noise. Some of us, we need soft music, whatever the case may be. But put yourself in a space to where you just give your mind and your spirit a break. Because within that silence, that's when the Most High will speak to you. That's when your spirit may tell you something, and a light bulb may go off that will inspire you to really get to that goal or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. And so, particularly for me, I grew up in a very traditional Christian home, and we were very big on prayer. And I'm still a believer in prayer, but you do have to balance that with the meditation. You can't just always be talking about what I want, fix this, I need this, or whatever. Everybody's prayer is not out of desperation, so don't get me wrong. But once you get done with that, you still have to take time to be quiet and see what answers are being given to you. So meditation gives you time to hear from God, to hear from the universe, to hear from yourself. Some of the answers, I truly believe all of the answers that we need are within ourselves. It's just about cultivating our spirits and our minds to a point where everything can connect and those messages can come through more clearly. So anyway, number 3 was meditate. On to number 4. Number 4 is something that is really fun and very, very helpful. It's called scripting. And scripting is simply when you take one of your favorite journals or a writing tablet, and you script about what it is that you want. You script about, and many people do this different ways, but one of the ways I found it to be more effective is when you script and you write it out as if it has already happened. So, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I truly believe that when you write it and you say, when I script, every time I put thank you, thank you, thank you. I put thank yous all across the front or across the top of the page. But what I do is I write as if it's already happened. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you so much that I received this wonderful relationship, that I'm in this wonderful relationship. I am now with a person that is a reflection of me, and we pour into each other, and we enjoy our time together, and all of these things, and we take trips and we have lovely dinners, but we also enjoy just sitting at home and being in each other's presence. So for me, scripting as if it has already happened is very important. Another reason why that's important is because when you're scripting, you're writing something down, and writing is very powerful. But when you script, if you write as if you want it to happen, to me personally, I believe you'll always be wanting it to happen. When you write it as if it has already happened, when you write it as if it's already occurred, and you're saying, thank you that I have, thank you that I can, thank you that I did, thank you that I do. Again, thank you that I am, thank you that I maintain these things. You're putting a very different energy into it versus writing, I want this job, I want this salary, I want this person or this relationship. Those are two very different energies. So remember, when you do script, express gratitude, but put yourself in that, and script when it feels good. Script when you're scripting, it should be feeling good. You can't, because your feelings are also very important in manifestation. But script to when it feels good, and when that pen is going and it's like words are coming and your pen isn't moving fast enough, and you feel your spirit just bouncing all around inside of you from joy. You feel uplifted. That is how you want to feel when you script. You don't want to script and still feel bad or depressed, or I'm trying to script to feel better. You should definitely script after you meditate, because you've cleared your mind. But again, write as if it's already happened. Do it in a good mood. Sometimes as you begin to write and you feel yourself in that place that you're trying to manifest, you should definitely feel lighter. You should feel good. And again, when you're writing things down, I believe that it's just very, very effective. It's almost like you're putting it still into the atmosphere. You're not necessarily speaking it out in this particular instance, but there is something very positive about taking something from your mind and putting it on paper. So scripting is very, very helpful. And one thing, you may want to get an actual scripting journal and a scripting pen. I know some people, they have one journal and one pen for things that they want to script and things that they want to manifest. They don't write a script over here and then in the other two loose leaf pieces of paper, they've written a script over there. You may want to keep those things together so that as you begin to manifest these things and you see them come to fruition, you have the opportunity to go back and read those pages and just see what you've created. And not only that, sometimes you can go back and read those pages and they're all in one place, and you feel good because you wrote them from a good place. So scripting, I love scripting. Number 5, and I kind of mentioned this at first. Again, I grew up in a very traditional Christian home, and so one thing that was impressed upon me was prayer. And I do believe in prayer. I believe that when you pray, again, like scripting, I think it's positive. Let me get my words together. I think it's very positive to ask, but I really believe when you're praying, you're really just asking the divine you're letting the divine know what you want. You're not saying, oh God, please do this. You're saying, thank you, God. I know you're going to do these things for me. I know it is already done. I know I know that I have this house. I know that I've achieved this promotion. I know that doors are open unto me. I know that opportunities are open unto me. I know that all things work out for my highest good. So thank you, God. Thank you, Most High. Thank you, Universe. Thank you to my ancestors, whoever it is on that diaspora that you feel connected to. Instead of necessarily asking, prayer to me is about a conversation. And it's really about clearly stating what you desire. That's why I said you have to be really clear about what it is that you desire. And one thing that the Bible says is when you ask, you have to also believe that you've received. And so that kind of lets you know when you're asking, but you're, please, I hope this thing happens. Well, then you don't have that faith. You don't have that belief. You're still kind of praying, but you're praying a little bit from a slightly fear-based perspective. So really remember to step into your faith. Know that you are powerful. Know that God and the Most High hears your prayers. And when you put that prayer out there, it will be heard, and what you desire will come to you. That's how you really manifest. And it's a little outside noise, so excuse that. But also with prayer, I also put petitioning, because I believe that prayer is the same thing. Prayer is a verbal petition. And petitioning is a little bit different from scripting. Scripting is saying, okay, thank you that that I'm in this place, I'm in this house, I'm in this new city that I wanted to move from. Petitioning is I'm putting my name on a piece of paper, my name, my date of birth, today's date. I'm listing out what I desire, but I'm not saying I want. Again, we don't say want in prayer. We don't say want in our scripts. We don't say want in our petitions, because that's what you'll be doing. You'll just always be wanting those things. You put, I have stability. I have the income that I need to share, to spare, to save, and invest. I have great transportation. I have everything that I need. I have inner peace. I have mental stability. I have mental clarity. Thank you that I write freely. Maybe somebody that's struggling with writer's block or something like that. So remember, petitioning is really, you're not going into as much detail as you would with the scripting, but you are clearly stating what you have. You have it, and you sign it, and it's almost like you're making a contract with yourself and with spirit, and you're again putting it on paper. And then maybe you put that paper under your pillow, or you put that piece of paper in your wallet, or you put that piece of paper at your altar, whatever that looks like for you. And it's you fold it up towards yourself, and you keep it with you. And you'll soon begin to realize that those things will manifest. So prayer and petition, I believe those two go hand in hand. Oftentimes, any of us who have gone to church, we've had that prayer request. Put your prayer request in. That's what a petition is. So many things mirror, like manifestation in different aspects of Christianity and other religions, they mirror. So you don't necessarily have to have one without the other. You can use all of these tools for yourself. So again, petitions and prayer. I think those two are so helpful. Number 6, your imagination. Now I know that we are adults, and you're like, imagination, I don't have time to imagine things. I'm trying to secure my bag. I'm trying to, I have these kids, or I'm just trying to, I don't have time. I'm busy with life. But imagining that vacation that you want to go on, putting yourself on that yacht for that weekend, putting yourself in that country, about a year ago, I took a trip to Egypt. And at the time, I did not have nearly all the funds that I needed. To be completely honest with you, I was not working a regular 9 to 5 job. So I had a few contracts here and there, but my income was not consistently or stably coming in. And one thing I did was, I did several of these tips, but I would imagine myself by the pyramids. I would feel the sun. I would look up pictures and I would put myself there, and I would imagine how would that feel and how the trip would go and how much fun I would have and things I would discover. And I kid you not, I went on that trip. And I still do not know how, but that's the power of manifestation. Because when you imagine, you take yourself out of doubting and how is it going to happen? I want this, but how is it going to happen? Well, how and when? We sometimes that's what we do. We're questioning, well, this is my desire, but how will it happen? Stop asking how. Just start believing so that you can receive. Again, the card says, the moment I realign with love, clear direction will be presented to me. And perfect love casts out fear. So if you're not fearful and you're not doubting, you'll allow yourself to really begin to get the direction so that you'll know what steps to take in order to accomplish that thing. Okay? So number 7, this goes right in alignment with everything we've been talking about, even imagination. But number 7 is feeling. I truly believe that when you can feel it, you will become much more effective. And one of my favorite YouTubers, Brown and Bendy, please check out her page. She's phenomenal. She taught me this technique. I would already try to feel it, as if it happened. But one thing she taught me was the 10-minute technique. This was like one of the 4th or 5th videos I watched from her. And she would say, imagine what you want. You just got the call 10 minutes ago, or you just received the email 10 minutes ago, that offer letter, or someone saying that they bought your house, or someone saying that you've been approved for this big thing, just whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. She would use this, she would call it the 10-minute technique. And I love the 10-minute technique because I could just think, okay, oh my God, 10 minutes ago, I just received this email. It was perfect. They offered me this job. They offered me this contract. It's more than the amount of money that I wanted. But that 10-minute technique is so effective because it almost like puts you in the present moment, and it allows you to really feel. One thing about it, what we try to do is we try to accomplish something and then celebrate it. Excuse me. Most of us try to accomplish something and then celebrate that accomplishment, instead of really feeling that internal celebration, knowing that the accomplishment is coming anyway. We don't have to wait to be happy. You don't have to wait to be joyful. You don't have to lose weight, then become happy. You don't have to buy this particular car or have this particular career to be happy. You can actually begin to be happy and feel joy way before those things come. And what it does is it speeds up that manifestation, because God is saying, wow, she's already vibrating on that level. I can go ahead, and she's ready. When you feel it, it's telling the universe and the divine that you're ready. I'm ready. I'm grateful. I feel it. I can feel that fur. I can see that ring on my finger. I mean, whatever it is you're trying to manifest, no judgment. But you put yourself in that headspace to where you imagine what it would look, what it would feel like. And so really, that one thing about it, you can talk about the law of attraction, but within that law of attraction, if you don't feel like you already have it, you will manifest those things, but they will come a little bit slower, as opposed to if you begin to just walk in it. I've read this quote before, and it says, you dress like the career you want to have. So yeah, you may not be a professor or whatever it is yet, but I still dress. I still carry myself in a certain manner and in a certain decorum because I know that these things will come. So I'm always ready when people see me and they ask me about myself, or maybe they see me and they say, "Oh wow, are you a lawyer? Are you a professor? Are you this, that, and the other?" And even though you may not be that thing yet, because you're already walking in it and operating in it and feeling it and vibrating on that level, other people can see it in you, which also can speed up your manifestation. But then again, you feel it when you look in the mirror. You see that person that you're becoming, not the person that you want to become. You see the person that you're already becoming. The person that's already within you is making steps toward the forefront every single day. So again, take time to feel. You want the perfect relationship. Think about what that will be. Imagine what it is and feel it, you know. So I think that's just a beautiful tip. Number 8. I talked about this a little bit in scripting when I was saying, but thank you, thank you, thank you. But one thing, when you are trying to manifest, honey, you have to be grateful. You have to be appreciative for the things that you already have. That's my laptop. Sorry about that. But you have to be really grateful and appreciative. Of course, for what you want. Thank you, God, for blessing me with this. Thank you, you know, thank you, Most High. Thank you to the divine for bringing these things in my life. However, you have to say, okay, excuse me, I don't have the car that I want right now, but thank you for this car that I do have. I'm borrowing my mom's car, or whatever the case may be. I don't have the vehicle I want, but I do have access to transportation. I don't have the vehicle that I want, but you know what? On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, my best friend lets me borrow her car, or my best friend picks me up. She takes me to work, and then she picks me up and takes me home, and she doesn't even charge me gas money. So things like that. Be grateful for what you have. I'm not in the house that I want to be in. I'm not in the neighborhood that I want to be in. Thank you that, you know what, I do have a space where I can call home. I have somewhere that I have peace. I have a safe haven. So think about what you have, even if it can be your body. Maybe your body is not where you want it to be or where it's been before. But you can say, you know what, I may be a little bit thicker. I may be 20 pounds heavier, but thank you for the curves that I have. Thank you for my beautiful legs. Thank you for this body that I have, that is operating in good health, that is getting into shape. Thank you for the skin that I'm in, because as you begin to appreciate your body and you affirm your body, when you have those urges, excuse me, when you have those urges to eat chips and whatever it is that's unhealthy, you know what? Because you've been appreciating your body and affirming yourself, some of those urges and things that you would desire, those cravings, they'll begin to go away. Or you may think you want something, and you're like, you know what? Every day at 7 o'clock, I used to eat, an ice cream sandwich at home. Nobody knew. But you know what? For the last 3 weeks, I haven't had one ice cream cone. So just things like that. Appreciate who you are. Appreciate what you have. Even if you feel like you don't have anything, trust me, it's something. Make a gratitude list. So you can make a gratitude list. What am I thankful for? I'm a single mom, but I'm grateful for this beautiful child that I have, that loves me morning, noon, and night, tells me that they love me all the time. Now, granted, I provide for them. I give them everything that they need, so of course they should love me, But thank you for these wonderful little beings, or this beautiful little baby that I have. I didn't imagine myself in this space, but thank you for this child that I get to raise and shape and love, and they love on me and I love on them. Things like that. So we all have something that we can be grateful for. Even if you had a lot of things, and then maybe life ebbs and flows, so maybe you're going into one of those ebbing phases. Thank you for those highs that I had. Thank you for those times I had when things were going well. I'm going to reflect on those and build my new desires from that place, because I've experienced it before, I believe I can do it again. So be grateful, be thankful, be appreciative. Number 9, speak affirmations. I think this is so powerful. Well, one thing about it, again, it's all of these things just overlap. All of these things, they overlap so beautifully. When you speak those affirmations, you need to feel it. You need to feel good. You need to, you know, when you're speaking affirmations but you don't feel good, you're that's split energy, and you're sending two different messages into the universe. But when you speak those affirmations and you're feeling good, even if it's just the first 10 minutes of your day, get it out the way before too many things bombard you. But you're speaking life over yourself. And sometimes when you speak affirmations, instead of trying to speak the exact situation, just say beautiful blanket statements. Thank you that all is well. Thank you that all things work out for me. All things work out for me. I'm a positive person. I am a creative person. I can manifest the life that I want. I am empowered. My life is good. My life is sweet. People receive me well. I am loved. I love myself, and I am lovable. Life offers me good things. Good things easily come my way. Money is always flowing in my direction. I have enough to spare, share, save, and invest. Just different things like that. So sometimes we're like, well, I need to have $5,000, I need to have $10,000 a month, or whatever your magic number is. But instead of just trying to put such a big thumbnail in that particular thing, learn to say blanket statements. I thank you for financial stability. I have financial stability. I am financially stable. I am financially well off. I'm thriving. I'm thriving. My life continues to thrive. My life is glowing. I'm glowing. My skin is beautiful. I'm healthy. My family is blessed. I'm blessed. My life is blessed. God loves me. The universe loves me. The universe takes care of me. Angels are surrounded about me. I'm always protected. So learn to say those beautiful blanket statements. And as you say them, feel them. And that's the good thing, when you're not too specific, you take out the opportunity for that split energy. Like, you're saying you want $10,000 a month, but you know you need $10,000 a month, and then in that need triggers that fearful feeling, or that feeling of not having enough, and that lack consciousness. So instead of trying to always be overly specific, learn some of those beautiful blanket statements that really encompass what it is that you desire. When you say all things work out for me, trust me, that covers your money, that covers your health, that covers your wellness, that covers your family, that covers your career, things of that nature. So use those statements, but feel good when you say them. Look yourself in the mirror. Speak life over yourself, over your children. My children behave well. My children are loved. My children are leaders in school. Things of that nature. I am the head. I am a head and not the tail. I am the lender and not the borrower. Those are some of the ones we said when we were in church. But they're very powerful, and those are also biblically based, and then one scripture, it says, Jeremiah 29:11, it says something to the point of, I know the plans that God has for me, plans to prosper and not harm me, plans to bring me to a good end. So you can say, again, God is prospering me. God plans for me are more amazing than the plans that I have for myself. I allow God's plans to show themselves up in my life. I receive God's plans for my life. I receive what the universe has for me and all the good that it wants to give to me. So just really step into that and walk in it. All right. And the last one, number 10, when you've done all of these things, I truly believe that this life that we live, our surroundings, our environment, spirit, our soul will begin to nudge us. Different synchronicities will begin to happen, different opportunities. Maybe now you're in Whole Foods and you wanted to become a teacher, and you just so happen to have a conversation with a principal, or you happen to have a conversation with a retired educator or administrator, and they're like, you know what, I know, so and so, that I mentored him, I can plug you in with this person, things of that nature. So as you begin to do these things, the universe and God will begin to slowly just give you these little breadcrumbs, and you'll be like Hansel and Gretel. You'll be eating those breadcrumbs. You won't get lost, but you'll be eating them until you get to that destination and until that manifestation. But when even like when you come out of meditation, or like I said, sometimes it won't even be out of meditation. It will just be different things that will begin to happen, and you will see that door, it'll crack, and you'll see a little light coming from it, and you'll see a little more light, and then that door will be wide open. Flow with that. Those are the steps that you take. So we don't take steps away from what we desire. We take steps towards what it is that we desire, and we listen to our spirit. We allow the synchronicities, we allow those opportunities where we meet people. We take those steps towards it, because now we put ourselves in a mental and a spiritual place where we can clearly see these steps and receive it. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Again, my name is Jade Marie, and this is Jade's Gems. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind, and have a wonderful day. My loves, my beautiful people.